reason I ask that is because I see people saying it's their title to lose, but in the very next breath say, but I think they'll bottle it. If you're going to bottle it, you can't be the favourites.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Explain that then, Tom. Explain that, bro. Explain that.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, no, it's me that said it.
Roy's
not
scouts
it, Terry. As in, Arsenal are 101%. Do not let a single person convince you otherwise that they are not favourites for this title. They've been the best team in the country from August till March. When they've had blips, they've bounced back and put a good few wins together to retain their lead at the top. They've shown they can beat teams who come at them, who sit back, who want to play a basketball game. They've beaten a variety of different teams this season. And rightfully so, they're top of the league by a good margin. Not a huge margin, just a good margin. So they are 100% favourites for the league. And now you can easily be favourites for the league and people can say that you're going to bottle it because in the position they are in, they are favourites. They cannot be considered underdogs. However, if you then look at their squad and say there's not much experience in title-winning situations apart from Arteta, Zinchenko, and Jesus, it's a young squad. It's not the deepest squad in the world. So if obviously, God forbid, I don't wish injury on anyone. If injuries come in, that could derail their season. So if people think that they have a feeling that they could bottle it, then that's fine. That's why I think it's very easy for the two of them to coexist. Like they're favourites because of how they perform from August till now, but also if you look at their squad and the lack of experience, the young profiles, the lack of depth, then it's a valid reason. I don't agree with it because I think Arsenal are going to win the league, but it's a valid reason for you to think that they could bottle it. That's all I'm saying.
If they lose it from here, it's a failure, right? If they lose it from here, it's a failure.
It's a failure, 100%.
To go. 10 games to go. You have everything in your hand. You've been playing the best football ever. When is that? When are we going to draw the line and say from now here on, you got to win the league? City still play Liverpool.
Look. I'm going to have to speak now because I'm just having too much shit here now. Don't be trying to throw pressure on us, Mo. I know what you're trying to do. Yeah, you get me. You get back in your cage.
Let me. When are you going to draw
all
the line?
I know is, look, I'm just going to say it as it is. We are the favourites. And I do believe we'll win the league. And the reason is, and you know what? What's your name, brother? Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Roy. Obviously, Roy pretty much hit the hammer on the nail there in everything that he said. I think there was a lot of truth in that. Obviously, a lot of things can determine the rest of these 10 games. With, for example, if we get injured to Thomas Partey or like Saliba's now out, we don't know how Rob Holding's going to do. All of these are factors in the next 10 games. Obviously, City also having that know-how how to get over the line, and this Arsenal team not knowing how to get over the line for 19 years, it does cause a bit of concern. But I agree. Now we're out of all competitions in the cups, and we've sacrificed them cup competitions. For me, it would be a failure if we didn't go on and win the league now. 100%, it would be, because we are in the best position, 8 points clear. For me, the Liverpool, the Newcastle, and the Man City game they're the games for me. If we can get through them games unscathed, then I think we're definitely going to be winning the title. But look, at the same time, you got to give these boys credit. Even if we don't get over the line, nobody expected Arsenal to be in this position this year. You know what I mean? From a team that finished 8th twice to finish 5th to now be challenging and leading the Premier League right from the get-go. Yeah, you got to give massive credit.
Nobody said that we're not giving them props. We're not giving them credit.
Well, you clearly didn't hear what I said just before that, then, innit? Because obviously, I just told you that I believe that we're going to win the league and we are favourites. Okay. What I was saying. So turn your volume up.
I did, but you're saying, but you're just asking. No. You're just saying that people don't want to say that we don't give them credit. Absolutely. Beginning of the season, you were just a contender for top 4. To be in this position and be top of the league with that amount of points and these performances as well is absolutely fantastic achievement. But when are we going to say the line where from this point on you have to win it?
But you got to look at it. Look, if City win their game because they've got a game in hand on us, it's 5 points. We've still got City to play, and we've got Anfield away. We've got Liverpool at Anfield away. Which look what they've done to Manchester United. Do you know what I'm saying? They're not easy games, and nobody can say, "Oh, Arsenal are going to go there and turn them over 100%." Because in the Premier League, as you've seen against Bournemouth, we were 2-0 down. We had to come back and win 3-2. That's the beauty of this league. Anybody can beat anybody, and no one's got no given right to win. So, with Man City having that experience to claw back leads like we've seen over Liverpool in the past, because it's proven that they can do that. And they got an absolute monster up front. He's just scoring goals. It wouldn't be no shame if Arsenal missed out on the title by a point or so. But for me, it would be a failure, for my personal opinion, you get me? Because I want to see us win the league now. After 19 years, we've not been in this position, and we have to go for it now, 100%. We recruited well in January, brought in Trossard, brought in Jorginho. There's no real excuse apart from if we get a few injuries here and there. But look, hopefully, fingers crossed, we can just go for it. We have been the best team in the league so far this season, and long may it continue.
I think just with all the context around Arsenal, if you don't get over the line, you will be, called bottle jobs or whatever, and it's a failure because of all the scenarios, i.e. Manchester City is still in Europe, Manchester City is still in the FA Cup. You're focused solely on the Premier League. You've only got one game a week, people will say, and all that stuff. And is it fair? Probably, yeah. Because I think people have to judge seasons by changing, your expectations change. I'm sure no one here has the same expectations for their team now, bar maybe Daps, that they had before the season started. I expect us to challenge for a title, not fingers crossed we can scrape Europa League. You'd expect the top four. Now you're in a title, you're favourites for a title. You're 8 points clear. I don't know if you've got a game in hand or not. I haven't checked the table. I don't like
City have got a game.
City have the game in hand. Okay.
10 and 11, Tom. 10 and 11. Arsenal have 10. City have 11 games.
Right. Okay. So City have the game in hand. You're 8 points clear. That can go to 5. But I do think in the position with the context, you are the favourites for it. Mm-hmm. But if you don't win it on a one-off basis, it's a failure. But it's not going to be a situation where it's, oh no, what are we going to do? How do you? Because that's where you go back to your overarching one, where you went to the start of the season. We've overperformed that one. We just haven't hit what we thought we could do.
Yeah, I think what Premsy said. I like what Premsy said there, because I find too many fans are now doing this when it comes to football conversations. If you get a prediction wrong, who actually cares? Like, I will say this now: who are the biggest football content creators out there? Goldbridge, True Geordie, Expressions, Rants, all these guys. They've got hundreds of predictions wrong. It hasn't ruined their careers. So anyone who's just an aspiring content creator, get off this nonsense that football Twitter created, that you have to be right and you'll get cooked if you're wrong. Equally, stop fighting over semantics. If Arsenal don't win the title, it's a failure, because failing to win the league is failure. But it doesn't mean failure in the sense of, because Gunnar Sol said this in one of our group chats. Failure, though, means like something big's got to happen, something big's got to change at the club. It doesn't. It just means that failure then needs to be weaponized to make you go again next year. That's essentially how I see it.
It's not a disaster, Terry.
You
didn't reach your goal. As in, your goal was to win the league. You didn't reach it.
And the goal has now changed. And look, I look at it this way. I make Arsenal favourites. Therefore, I don't think that they're underdogs. I do disagree with what you said at the beginning, Roy, around if people are predicting Arsenal to bottle it, they can't see them as favourites, because your prediction is they're gonna crumble. If they're gonna crumble, then you don't think they're favourites because you don't think they're gonna win it. For me, it's almost like an oxymoron thing. It doesn't make sense to have those two beliefs at the same time. But Arsenal are the favourites, and I think they deserve credit. But I do get why everybody's discrediting them, because they're potentially toppling unexpectedly this brilliant City team, who is one trophy away, by the way, a Champions League, from being in the race to be the greatest English club side of all time, as in for a particular core group of players. Like when you date it from sort of 2016 to now, you add that Champions League into that mix. Or this year you throw a fucking treble in, and they go above everyone in English football because of what they've won before and leading up to it, and what they might win after.